Holy shit, they actually did it. They fixed the goddamn game. Oh, I was so excited that I forgot to set up my overlay, but whatever. Okay, so what did they do? Well, they added a tournament bundle for the Firefly. It looks pretty damn fine now. They added the zombies were removed and related effects, of course. Bright specks no longer appear on surfaces with decals. Missing textures are now no longer displayed on Bleak City or the Demolition Arena. The minimap is now displayed correctly during tournament events. On larger levels, player tags are now displayed from a further distance. Bogus wheel damage notifications are no longer occasionally displayed at the start of the race. Speedy driver model is now displayed correctly at all LOD levels. Kilby's stock rear spoiler now gets dirty. The War Digger can now endure more damage. Using manual gears, first gear is now automatically engaged when you reset. Next effects are for PC specifically. Massively improved client performance, obviously. It looks fucking beautiful now. Game data verification is faster. Servers no longer leak memory. That's a big one. I know Black Flag 2 had 3 crashes in a day at one point just from being full all the time and leaking memory. In-game hosting of the client works again. Ping is shown in-game now. It matches the real ping more closely. Steam client ID is shown when a client connects and disconnects. That is for server specific stuff, like server side stuff, sorry. Server message is now displayed correctly. That's that little thing in the bottom corner. Useful. Server passwords now work. Game input is disabled when Steam overlay is opened. That was annoying because I kicked a few people by clicking around on that, trying to check players' statistics and stuff, how much they played the game. Changing MSA settings no longer requires restarting the game. The TriStar's RPM redline issue that will cause sound to stutter if the car is tuned to the shortest gear ratio has been fixed. Fixed an issue with Carmageddon starting the countdown, where if you paused the game during the countdown it would reset the audio count. And yeah, that's it for fixes. They also added a new track, the Rally Route of Furwood. I've not actually got any footage of me playing it at the moment, but it's a very good track. There are lots of technical and difficult corners which are very hard to do well. There's quite a few easy corner bombing turns as well for people who like that kind of racing, and a lap's about 50 seconds, which makes it one of the longer, actually maybe the longest track variation of Furwood. I think this track was actually taken from a mod pack, but I mean, there's only so much that you can do with the base game tracks, so kind of to be expected that some tracks will be looted. So far my PB on it is 48.2, but they haven't been updated yet, so gonna have to go and do that again. Here, I just had an idea. Would you like me to break down tracks specifically, like line choices and such? Let me know in the comments below. Just for the sake of it, I decided that I'm actually going to break down a lap on the new map now, just so that you get a taster of what it is that I would actually be doing. And also to buff out the video, because I've only got 3 minutes of content. So then, the first corner. There is some setup from the last corner into the first one. I'll explain that on that turn though. We should come in from the left side of the track, giving us as much room as possible to complete the turn. Watch out for this bit of rumble strip, as if you hit your wheel with it, it'll throw the car into the air. In C-Class you can cut one wheel inside and one wheel outside of the rumble strip, but in A-Class, which is what I'm playing now, it's better to stay wide and use the space that you get from that to gain as much power and wheel spin and speed as you can exiting the corner. T2 is a left-right chicane, leading to a bump and then T3. This chicane can be taken in a straight line more or less, and in C-Class you can keep the car on the right side of the track with relative ease as you exit the chicane. If you do go wide, use the bump to snap the car into a right-hand turn to get on the right side of the track, and then you can inertia drift into T3. T3 is a sharp left which can be flowed into the next corner after T3, so I've grouped them together. This turn is a very difficult one in C-Class because you don't quite carry enough speed to get around the second corner without cutting very tight against the wall on the inside of the corner, and there's also tyres there, so you should watch out for those. Turn 5, 6 and 7 can all be made into one sweeping drift in A-Class, as you see here. Turn 5 rumble strip is safe to hit as hard as you want. Try to keep the car tight on the track. after that turn. This should set you up in a virtually straight line for the long straight. Be careful that you don't over-rotate into the well-hidden wall at the top of the hill though. Down the straight, we want to keep in as straight of a line as possible. It sounds weird, but it's not actually a straight, so to speak. We should end on the left side of the track. At the end of the straight, there is a jump, and we need to turn hard right and brake just before we take off, at least in A-Class. This will pivot the front of the car down, making the airtime less, and it'll help to rotate the car as well. You should be braking the second you land as well for setup into the next corner. We come into T8 in the air from the jump before. We should point the car in the direction we're going to exit the corner when we land. I don't go into gearing at all, except from here. We need the wheels spinning at maximum RPM in whatever gear it will happen in. This is for A-Class specifically. For my Super Venom, it's 3rd to 4th gear in this corner. This will help straighten the car out in the direction we're pointing, and it will make the drifting more consistent. We can point the front of the car tighter inside of the turn, which will reduce our speed and will make the corner tighter. But if we've set up correctly, we should be able to point in the direction we want to go and just power through, and the car will rotate around the corner, even though we're pointing in the direction that we are supposed to be going. Turn 9, the last turn. This is actually the most important corner on the track because, well, it's the least important. Yeah, let me explain, that doesn't really make sense. It can be taken very quickly for a good lap, but then you're going to crash into the wall. However, if you have another lap, then you have to use it to set up for the first corner. Remember I said I'd get back to it? So what we need to do is we need to come in from as wide as possible, and then go as tight as possible in the corner and stay there. This is really hard to do. You're literally going outside, inside, inside, where typically you would go outside, inside, outside. This is inherently difficult for a corner like this, especially considering it's got a drop at the end of it. In C-Class it's risky, but in A-Class you can actually cut right across the dirt and get as close to the wall on the left as possible. And we're going to exit on the left side of the track as well, which will set us up nicely for the first corner again. And that's it. I'll put a clip of my best lap in now. I hope you've enjoyed the video. I'm in the middle of getting footage for my moderating on Wreckfest is such a pain in the arse. It'll be out in a little while because it's going to be a very big video. I've got a little Wreckfest shitpost ready to go pretty soon, so I'll throw that up as well. Anyway, thank you for watching.